Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Dune Primer. In this episode, we're going to the seat of the Galactic Empire. The Empire is centered in the star system of Alpha Piscium. In astronomy, this star is numbered as HIP 9487, and it exists in the game. Now, this is the last of the stars mentioned by name in the first book of the Dune series. The planet that seats the Empire is called Kaitain, Kaitain, and is said to circle this star. Like in the last episode, I'm going to fast forward the trip to the star to shorten things a little bit. If you're new to this series, I talk about various aspects of the Dune backstory and visit the star systems mentioned in the book using the Elite Dangerous space simulation game that you're seeing here. Here we are at Alpha Piscium. Let's go get the navigation data for this system at the nav beacon. Now, unlike the other worlds we visited, the novel doesn't tell us which planet has the seat of the Empire. In the other cases, it was always the third planet, but not in this case. In the series so far, we've had about a 50% match of planets at the locations described. But since this game doesn't happen in the Dune universe, that's not too surprising. Still, it's nice when it works out like it did with Kaitain, which actually had an Earth-type planet at the location specified. Everything unexplored. The Emperor has the title of Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV of House Corino. The title is interesting because it matches the title of the Persian kings, Padishah. From this we can see parallels in our own history. There was a Shah in Iran at the time that Frank Herbert wrote this book, before he was deposed in 1979. And we saw in the first episode that I did that the Atreides name on planet Caladan had parallels with ancient Greece, with Atreus and Caledon. Do we have here a kind of indirect reference to the Persian War in ancient Greece, perhaps? But we also saw some World War I commonalities with Lawrence of Arabia and the Bedouins. Let's look at the system map. There are no stations. There are 2 settlements over here, so let's plot that course and go see. Here's the planet they're on. No atmosphere. Definitely wouldn't be a fitting world for the seat of a galactic empire. The Emperor is described as being lean and elegant. He is said to resemble the Duke Leto Atreides, leading some to suspect that there might be a shared ancestry there somewhere. And that's not too surprising, given that royal families are often closely related. One difference is that the Emperor has red hair, contrasted to the Duke's black hair, You might think what red hair has to do with being Persian, but in fact it is. When I went to university, one of the Iranian students had red hair and said that it was quite a common trait in that part of the world. We don't know how old the Galactic Empire is or how long the Corinos have been in charge. We only know that the current state of affairs has been in effect for a very long time, perhaps even thousands of years. Some prequel novels by Frank Herbert's son, Brian Herbert, go into what led to the current model. I only read one of those books, and it was all story and no plot, so I didn't really get into the series. The story of Dune is described as a coming-of-age tale for Paul Atreides, but it's also a revenge story, and that's a big aspect to it that I like. That's one of my guilty pleasures, that's revenge flicks. Even the B-movie revenge flicks are so satisfying when the villain gets his comeuppance. In this case, the injustice done to the Atreides is extreme. There was an attempted genocide on the part of the Harkonnens with the aid of the Emperor, and without going into spoilers, that decision comes back to bite them in a really big way. Here we are approaching the planet. Let me do a surface scan.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
In the 1984 movie by David Lynch, the planet Kaitain was an Earth-type world with a ring system. So I'll leave you with a graphic of such a world from elsewhere in the Elite Dangerous universe. Thank you for watching, and pass the word and subscribe if you're liking this. Bye for now.